What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the channel, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. It is Wednesday. I think this is June 6th today. Hump day. I hope you guys are having a great week so far. It has already been action-packed between our president and what's going on out there in Hollywood and what we're here to talk about. And one of the things that are on everybody's lips right now is Kate Spades' suicide. For those of you who are not familiar, just a real quick synopsis of what has happened. And that is designer Kate Spades. She designs handbags, jewelry, scarves, accessories, that type of thing. And I can't remember for the life of me if she has clothing. I don't think so. I mostly shop at the Kate Spade outlet for little trinkets and things like that. My sister loves Kate Spade. I'm familiar with her work. It's a little avant-garde. It can be a little abstract, fun. She sold the brand, actually, I think, to Liz Claiborne some years ago for a few $1 million or so. And then Liz Claiborne sold the brand to Coach for a couple of $2 billion with a B, right? So she wasn't really over her brand anymore. You know, she, for whatever reason, had sold the brand. It had been resold. They are still, of course, using her name. I'm not sure if she was still working in the design area of the brand. I'm not really sure, but she'd done quite well for herself. There is talk now of the fact that she had a lot of depression. Her husband felt that she had shifted to a more manic state, and he tried desperately. This is what the claim is, that to get her into some type of program, some type of hospital setting where she can be treated properly, you know, where she can sort of work through things. He had even offered to go with her and to stay with her while she went through the process. The people came down. They flew down from the state that she was going to be staying in for the hospitalization, and she backed out. I'm not sure how long ago that was, but then move forward, evidently things have gotten so bad where he's looking for an apartment, and that is what he was doing, allegedly in the home at the time that she took her life. Apparently she hung herself with a scarf in a bedroom, and she left a little 3-line note for her daughter. I can't remember what the middle line was, but the first line was, "It's not your fault." And then it was something like in reference to her, you know, like things can be sad or something like that. And then "Ask Daddy." And it kind of gave me a little pause reading that. I thought, oh, wow. Now, you know, you have to take everything kind of with a grain of salt out here on the World Wide Web, because a lot of stories start changing and morphing, and people start adding to, and of course everybody saw it after the fact, or nobody saw it after the fact, and you know, it's a lot of mixed things there. And I have to say, honestly, the fact that he was in the home and all of this happened gave me cause for suspicion. I just felt like, what? And that feeling would be a lot more persistent in my spirit if I did not have my own experience with suicide. My very, very best friend in the whole wide world. I mean, she's my bury the body friend, okay? She would help me bury a body, and I would do the same thing for her, and we would never speak of it again. Well, her oldest child, the child I helped her raise, when I met my good friend, he was still breastfeeding. That's how long I've known them. And he killed himself senior year of high school. And in the home, gunshot wound to the head. In the home with his siblings upstairs. One sister was in the same high school that he was in. I think both sisters were in the same high school that he was in, but down on the younger scale. and the father and their dad was in the home as well. And it was the father's gun. And the father did not know that his son in the basement had just shot himself in the head. But he happened to be on the phone with his girlfriend at the time, and they were breaking up, and he was distraught over that. And while on the phone with her, he shot himself, and she had the forethought in the midst of her terror to call his father and tell him that he had done something. And his father went down and he found him. So that's my experience, one of my experiences with suicide. And so I know it's very, very possible for things to be so dark and so black and so confusing and so befuddled in your own mind that you would not think of your siblings and not think of your child in that instance of Kate Spade, and not think of your spouse or not think of your parents, and do something so horrible as this type of thing, and then leave them with the residual, the cleanup, the permanent memory of you hanging there or laying there, or blood being everywhere, your brains being splattered. Like it's a horrible, horrible thing to do to yourself. It is a unbelievably unimaginable, horrible thing to do to your family, to the ones that you leave behind. And it's sad. It's sad. And me being a fixer type individual, I want to make things better. I always want to know what I can do. And I can remember riding with my nephew, and that's what I call him. That's how close we are. She's my sister, and he in turn is my nephew. I can remember riding with him in a car, and I was driving that was going to be his, and he was trying to talk to me about it. And I just don't remember being as involved in that conversation as I should have been, and that's not okay. I don't remember slowing down enough to talk with him. I don't remember asking enough about him and how he was doing and how he was feeling. I don't remember those things. And so this is how I mediate my own anxiety. You know, I try to figure out, how can I help? How can I contribute? How can I help with how I interact with people? Because what we know from Robin Williams, a whole host of people who have taken their lives. We've had several comedians within the last few years take their own life. And you know, it's just, it leaves you with a bevy of questions, most of which are what if? What if I was there? What if I had spoken? What if I had called? What if this is the one of the worst parts about taking your own life. Not only do you you deprive yourself of the opportunity to see things get better, but you also you leave people with so many questions. You leave people with a sense of guilt and you know, doubt and just second guessing. And it's just imagine what her daughter will go through in her life journey. Well, just imagine the questions she would have. You know what I mean? What were their last moments like? These are some of the things that I think about. And I know people have said you can have all the money in the world and still not be happy. I can understand that. I understand that concept. Like, I'm connected to that. I'm very, very sensitive to people who talk about being depressed. I'm very sensitive about it because I know how the enemy can get in the midst of sadness and confusion, and if you are not careful and you stoke it, You know what I mean? You stoke it with isolation and alcohol and drugs, and behaviors aren't addressed. They aren't, you know, it turns into this monster that eventually consumes you. And this is what the enemy does. He gets into what could be a moment of sadness will turn into an hour, a day, a week, a month, a year. I know I've gone through it with in my own life, with a sort of measure of depression that, and it comes to you. It just comes to you. It just comes to you. It's at your door like rain. What if I wasn't here? Wouldn't this all be better if I wasn't here? Now, granted, I guess it's better for you in a sense. No one has ever come back and told us what they found on the other side. No one has ever come back and told us, you know, what the silence is like. Do you still hear? Do you still see? Are you still with us? Are you still interacting? No one's ever told us that. Now, we've had people who claim to talk to, but we've never had a person come back and say, yeah, try that. Not good. That doesn't work. Or, wow, that was awesome. That was great. Like, this has been the best experience. Like, I am so glad. Like, no one's ever said that. Okay. You know, we are not in charge of our own lives, just like we're not in charge of our own birth, you know, and so we likewise are not supposed to be in charge of our own deaths. And, you know, I guess we could play around with that idea a little bit, that notion a little bit, but specifically for this, it's a horrible thing to do to your family. It's a horrible thing to do to your children, to your siblings, to your parents. It really, really is. But like I said, I'm a bit of a fixer. And if you know me at all, if you've ever spent an hour with me, you know that I am a people person. I can be a bit of a recluse. I can be very isolating. I can be in my own head a lot, but I am a people person. I never meet anyone that I can't talk to. It doesn't matter how much money you have. I wouldn't know, but I saw Cynthia Bailey on Saturday. I spoke to her just like if I had seen her walk into the Publix, you know what I mean? Hey, Cynthia, how you doing? You know, I talk to people sitting next to me. I speak to people passing me because I want to make sure that if there's something to be said, if there is some kind word, if there is some question to ask you, to make you think, to make you mull over, take pause in your thought process, especially if it's leading to killing yourself or ending your life or hurting yourself in any type of way, whether it be cutting or huffing or daredevilism. I mean, you know, if that's a legitimate term, whatever it is that you're doing to make you feel, to make you think, to put you in a different type of feeling, to change your own temperature in some drastic way to make you feel alive. What's it all about? To answer whatever I can say, no matter how small, I want God to use me to do that. Okay, and that's why I talk to everybody, and I talk about the craziest things. It's never, some of it is for my own edification, for sure, especially if I notice something, and I want to talk about it. I talk about it. I want to know what would make you put that nose ring in. Now, are you aware? You know, I have questions. I want to talk about it. And I hope in that conversation, in that moment of humanity where I'm not older than or better than or blacker than or smarter than or richer than or poorer than or more woke or anything. I'm just a regular flesh and blood human sitting next to you. And let's just talk for a second. Let's just chitty chat for a second. And when I leave you, I want you to have a nice day. I want you to take good care. Okay. And I want you to think about the conversation you had with the lady on the bench or the girl at the store. I want you to think about that when you think about ending your own life. I want the Lord to use me to have some impact, to say something encouraging, empowering, to let you know you're different and you're beautiful and you're wonderful. You know, It's gonna be okay. It's all right. Take a moment, but don't stay there. Okay? Don't set up house in sadness, and don't let sadness set up house in you. Take a moment. We all need a moment. Okay? But when you move to this place where you need hospitalization, you need pharmaceuticals, you need alcohol, people need to be on guard and need to be on watch. Like, now the monster is consuming you. You fed it too much. You took too good a care of it. Okay? It's like a stray. Now it's hanging around your back door, and if you crack it a little bit, it's gonna come in. Okay? It's gonna set up shop. And so I encourage any of my honeybees out there, if you are just dropping by this video, if you just stopping by for a second, you just wondered what was being said, you know what I mean? Just hear me out for a second. You don't deprive yourself of an opportunity, okay, to have everything you want in this life. It is a possibility for you. Okay, it's a possibility for you to get better, to feel better, to know better, to live better. Okay, with or without money. Okay, if you're feeling sad about loss, just know that one day soon you will see your loved one again. Anything you lost that's tangible, you can attain it again. Okay, any lie that you told, you can be forgiven for that. You can be forgiven for that. It's no reason to take your own life. It's no reason to end your story so abruptly, right in the middle of the chapter. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't deny yourself another smile, another laugh, another memory, another opportunity to be happy and show happiness. Okay? If you need to get help, ask for help. If you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. Okay? And keep asking until you get an answer. If you're someone, a family member, a friend who has lost a loved one, just know that it's not your fault. That there's nothing you could have done more than what you did. That how it went down is how it was going to go down. Okay? And going forward, never miss an opportunity to tell somebody you love them, to tell somebody that you care for them, and tell somebody you're glad to see them. I think that's one of the most wonderful things you can tell somebody is, hey, how you doing? I'm glad to see you. It ain't perfect. It ain't the perfect remedy. It's not the perfect remedy. It isn't. But I feel better in this world knowing I was kind, knowing I was thoughtful, that I engaged as a human, that I cared about someone else's feelings, their concerns, okay? That I took a minute to share some joy, some love, some happiness, some kindness, some empathy, some compassion with someone. That's the only way I feel better. That's the only way I feel better. That's the only way I can process things. So I encourage you guys, if you're having these thoughts, if you're having these feelings, talk to someone. Share it with somebody. Okay? If you are that somebody, talk to someone. Share it with somebody. Rally around your loved one. Okay? All right? And go forth. Go forth giving. Go forth speaking life. Okay, speaking positivity to people, because you don't know who the sadness amongst you are. And some of us are the sadness amongst us. I see it a lot of times with some of our YouTuber friends. I can see it on them. And some people just in a bad headspace, you know what I'm saying? They need a new job. They need to do some things. Need some things to turn around real quick in their finances. It's just a real temporary state. But then I can see there's quite a few people out there who are really suffering mentally. Mental illness is everywhere. It is rampant. It is, it's in the highest of offices. It's in the lowest places. It's not just homeless people talking to themselves on the street. It's the lady next door with 3 kids, who get up every morning thinking about drowning them. Okay? But she speak to that thing and let that thing know, not my children. I'm not doing that. I need to get help. You see somebody struggling, you see somebody having some difficult times, a difficult moment, you speak life into them. You speak life into them. You speak encouragement into them. Okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're in a place where you're feeling a certain type of way, you're depressive, you seek encouragement. You seek joy. Those amongst you speak joy and encouragement, okay, into your life. Speak life into your life. Okay? You seek those people out. Okay? You hang on to them till you feel better. Okay, that's all I wanted to say today, you guys. I love you guys so much. I want you to know that I am here. Very rarely do I not respond to DMs, you know, even if it's a couple of hours late because I'm busy and I can't really focus. And most people who know me know I respond in a very deliberate way. My conversation is very deliberate. I'm not fly by night. You know, you guys can always share. I've had quite a few bit of honeybees share some things with me. I've got a honeybee who lost her son in a car accident, and she's really been going through taking care of her grandbaby, you know, and just trying to hold her family together and just hold herself together. You know, I want to always be of encouragement. I want you guys to know I love you. I'm praying for each and every one of you that you will know that everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to be okay. Joy does come in the morning, and he does replace your ashes with beauty. I promise you. I promise you. Endure. Endure. Persevere. Left foot, right foot. Left foot, right foot. But don't give up. Don't stop. Don't quit. Bend, but do not break. Do not break. Okay, you too have purpose. You too have purpose. You have meaning. Okay, there is a reason that you are here. There's a reason why you're needed. Okay, the machine is not going to run right without you. Okay, I love each and every one of you guys. Let me know what you think about this video. If you want to talk about the Kate Spades situation, put it down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'll holla. I love you.